going to make me cry then. Yeah.
That's all right. Yeah, but just because you walk the walk, I mean, you know what we're going through and the highs and lows. And, I mean, every one of us that's here on this challenge, for whether it's 1, 2, 3 trips or whatever, have all dieted every other thing that's going. And every other time, you know, you lose the weight and you have this structured pattern, you must do this and you must do that. And then you get to the end of it, it's like, okay, what now? So you think, okay, well, I'll be really good, but then you get a temptation, it's like, okay. And you fall off the wagon and it's, oh, it's only a couple of kilos, and then you get to that benchmark and it's, oh, only another couple of kilos, and away you go again. And, you know, one of the things I said to Damien earlier was that, you know, I sort of started about a size 14, 16, and I dieted all the way to a size 20.
That's
with
a really
benefit.
good, really good point.
And this time round, it doesn't matter whether you're still losing, getting organised or whatever, the deal is that it's a lifestyle choice. So we know that this is all the good food that'll make your body tick, it'll make your body organs function correctly, it'll give you good skin and nails and eyes, and it just makes you a healthier person. And along with that comes the fact that if you are overweight, you're going to lose the excess weight and the fat, and then it reshapes itself as well. So then when it comes to the end, you're still eating a healthy lifestyle. If you've got no fat to lose, then you're not going to lose it. You're just going to dawdle on. But if given that, you know, if there's some nice food that you want to try once in a while, well, then that's fine. Your body's not going to reject it. Yeah.
And I think once you're more in tune with your body and you're eating for health rather than eating to lose weight, if you do eat stuff that isn't quite okay, you'll actually know about it. You know, you're more aware and in tune with your body. So if you eat something that's going to make you feel sluggish, you're actually going to notice it and think, was that really worth doing? And if it was decadent and you wanted to do it, enjoy it.
I can actually attest to that. I have to confess that a while back I was having an issue. Siblings.
Yeah.
And something had sort of pushed my buttons. I'd had someone staying in my home and they had bought some of those tiny little, you know, the wee ice cream thing on a stick, the short ones.
Yeah.
And, you know, mutter, mutter, mumble, I need food. Like the kids open the fridge, nothing there. Open the freezer, look at that. And I ate it from woe to go. I can't even think what they're called. It's like a mini magnum, one of those little things. Yep. Yeah. And I would say within about 30, 40 seconds of it hitting my stomach, it actually came back up again. My stomach just couldn't tolerate. It was ice cream and chocolate. Yep. So it's like, okay, I'm off ice cream.
And I think too, if you're going to have treats, as people still call them, but you're going to pick things that are really worth having.
That's right.
You're not going to have the white bread and you know, stodgy things that are just empty carbohydrates, and you know, just because you can't think of what to get, you're actually going to think, well, if I'm going to have something, I'm actually really going to enjoy it and have something nice. So we don't want people to think though that you can't have, you know, you can't enjoy your life. You still can, because I know you still have a wine, don't you?
I do. Not all that often. It's actually quite interesting that out for dinner and things. One of the other things I do occasionally on a Sunday is I've got a girlfriend I catch up with once in a while, and if we go to a coffee shop, I'm always particular about where we go now, because there's a couple of shops around town that make the most beautiful friands, and so that's my treat, as you call it, a treat, is that we'll go and sit and, you know, have a cup of coffee and a good long yarn, and have a nice bite with it, which actually, you know, it can take us an hour and a half or 2.
And so how do you think this is going to fit into your lifestyle for the rest of your life?
Well, I feel as if I'm there already. It's not a big issue. That you know, if I get caught at someone's place now, I'd fret, probably did fret in the first few weeks, because I was making sure that I was getting everything right, and that if you fell off, well, it's not actually fall off either, but if you know, put something in your mouth that wasn't actually of your food type, I wasn't sure what actually was going to happen. So I was a bit careful. So a lot of the times when I went to friends' places, I said to them, is it okay if I bring some food? Or what I would do is actually make food for all of us.
That was suitable for you.
And share.
That's great. Yeah.
And was just a bit more careful about that. But now I'm at the stage where as long as I don't do it too often. If it's once in a while and I get caught somewhere, it's like, so be it.
And I think, you know, like what you're talking about is mindful eating. You're actually, you know, you're conscious while you're eating. And if you look around, I mean, there's so many people. I mean, I saw it last week in Sydney, especially on the trains and things, where people are eating out of paper bags everywhere, and you can tell they're not even aware of what is going on. They've probably finished it before they've even started, and then thought, oh, I feel hungry. It's because they've got no idea what they're eating.
Yeah,
they're on the go.
Yep, they're on remote control.
Yeah, just shove it down.
And it's
so.
something to do.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's something to do with your hands.
And wonder why you're so hungry still, you know, 5 minutes later, because it's only taking you 5 minutes to eat your food, and it should take longer. Yeah. So, what about the retreats? Because you've been on both our retreats now.
I have.
It's going to be scary when you don't come on one. It's like, oh, where's that? What's that?
I might have to get a kitchen hand.
Yeah. You're like, yeah.
Actually, it's interesting.
The next one's going to be scary, I have to tell you that. I've already planned it. Yeah. Sorry, carry on.
Right. Two totally different retreats for me. The first time, I mean, each time you don't know what you're in for anyway, but the first time round, you know, I arrived and I probably had overdone it before I got there. I was at the stage where I was trying to be a morning person, but I was still a night person. I'd worked really hard to get some time off to go, and I arrived on the Thursday night absolutely knackered. And by the time we got organised, and I was like, I just really couldn't be bothered. All I wanted to do was go to sleep. I couldn't even be bothered having dinner. It was just, and I got up on Friday morning and
Hold on, you missed out. Didn't you do a bit of crying on Thursday night?
I do have to tell you. Yeah, that was kind of that, oh, I've got no idea what I'm doing here. And what I've...
You were exhausted too.
Well, I think that was probably part of it. And it was just the fact that things didn't kind of run as smooth. We had a timetable which nothing was getting kept to, and it was like, all I want to do is go to bed and I've still got this to get through. And then thinking we had a meeting that was actually put off after dinner. And yeah, I think I've never been so exhausted, and I think, yeah, it was probably the stage because I'd driven there with a couple of carloads of people that didn't know where they were going and all that factor as well. And then it was just, I could do that thing. And then, yeah, my emotions just kind of thought I was actually doing something for me as well, which probably was all part of that too. Like just being selfish and thinking this is my turn for 4 days. So Friday I still wasn't over that. And it was like, just get on and do the next thing, and I want to do the next thing. And it was like, hang on, kind of stop the bus, I want to get off. And there was all this soaking up, and everybody else had their own little things going on. And it was, yeah, it was, I wasn't in control, I think, is another thing, because I am actually very good at needing to control the situation. So there was a lot of learning going on. But it was a lot of learning about me as well, because I also wasn't the person that signed on in November by this stage, and I was, and I didn't know who I was. Yeah, with losing that little bit of control, I guess, was part of that. Going to the mindset session to find out that I had lived, I don't know how many years, a deferred lifestyle. It's like, yeah, okay.
And here you were thinking this is just all about weight loss.
Yeah, I mean, there was little bits and pieces coming through. I think I mean, it's your perception of people as well. You've got very good people perception, and you've been there yourself, so you know if there's a shortcut. It's like, yeah, okay, we'll try that. If there's a corner you can hide behind, it's like, yeah. And I think that was the thing that, yeah, I guess, to just want to hide away somewhere. I mean, that night we sat at dinner and I looked around, sat at a table with some people I didn't know, thinking, yeah, I'll just hide here in the corner. Then you pull up a chair and sit beside. It's like, what the hell is she doing there? You're the last person I want to see. But in actual fact, I was probably the only person that I needed to see here. So, yeah, I learned that early on. And, yeah, so, I mean, we get on through the weekend. The exercise thing was quite interesting because just to find out what you can and can't do. And, you know, the aches and pains and all those things, and you think, no, bugger this, I'm going to get through it. But, you know, there was the other issue that I have I've got one knee that's kind of doesn't sit right on top of itself, and I was absolutely determined I was going to get some of those things done, and then next thing, it's absolutely aching, and I'm looking thinking, okay, well, if I go way down the other end, Ray won't see me limping, and yeah, I'm going to finish the task I've been set out to do. So there was kind of that determination about get through stuff. And then come home and